Welcome to SVGTV News for Tuesday, December 19, 2023. I am Rsvg with the details. The flash flood watch, which has been in effect for St. Vincent and the Grenadines since Sunday evening, was discontinued around midday today. However, a weather advisory for low risk of flooding is now in effect. In its 72 hours outlook, the SVG Met Service says a decrease in shower intensity is expected across mainland St. Vincent as the day progresses. However, a few patches of moderate showers may be experienced across the Grenadines, and on Wednesday, similar conditions are anticipated before a shear line triggers some light to heavy showers on Thursday. The 72 hours outlook further noted that lingering instability may allow for cloudy skies and few passing showers on Friday, with gentle to fresh northeasterly to east-northeasterly trades currently crossing the islands, occasionally decreasing from Wednesday. Seas are also expected to be generally moderate in open waters, with swells ranging between 1.0 meter to 1.5 meters on the western coast and 2.4 meters on the eastern coast. Saharan dust haze intrusion is likely from late Wednesday. In other local news now, we hear that the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the fiscal year 2024 amounting to $1,617,496,574 were laid in Parliament today by Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Information Technology, Camilo Gonzalez. Minister Gonzalez told Parliament that the estimates of revenue and expenditure for 2024 is 11.8% increase over the approved budget of 2023.
The budget for 2024 is broken down as follows. Recurrent expenditure, inclusive of amortization and sinking fund contributions, $1,045,983,963. And capital expenditure of $570,512,611. Financing for the 2024 budget is expected to come from current revenue of $810,855,820. That's a lot of eights. And capital receipts totaling $805,640,573.
Minister Gonzalez said the 2024 current expenditure, exclusive of amortization and sinking fund contributions, amounts to $835,422,407, and current revenue is estimated at $810,853,820.
On the face of it, there is a current deficit of $24.6 million in these estimates. It's important to note, though, Madam Speaker, that when we were gathered here last year, the projections were for a current deficit of about $10 million. And our latest projections for this year indicate that far from a $10 million deficit on the current account, we should be realizing a surplus in excess of $36 million. The current revenue of $810.9 million is 6.5% or $49 million above the amount budgeted in 2023. This fairly strong projected revenue performance for 2024 is based on the projected expansion in real domestic activity of approximately 6%.
The finance minister said revenue from tax sources is expected to contribute $691.5 million to the consolidated fund, while non-tax revenue is estimated to gross $119.3 million in 2024.
Tax revenue is expected to increase by 6.7%, as the major types of taxes are expected to contribute as follows. Taxes on goods and services is expected to rise by $30.7 million, or 14.5%. Taxes on international trade and transactions, we expect that to rise by $13.1 million, or 6.1%. And taxes on property are expected to go up by 2.6%, or $1.4 million. Non-tax revenue collection for 2024 is estimated at $119.3 million. This figure is 5.4% more than the amount budgeted in 2023. The amount in the 2024 budget under non-tax revenue is expected to come mainly from sales of goods and services, which is projected to generate $98.8 million in revenue. The amount is estimated to be $3 million more than the amount budgeted in 2023. Revenue from non-tax sources is also expected to come from inflows and other miscellaneous sources amounting to $13.6 million. On the side of recurrent expenditure, the total estimated recurrent expenditure, inclusive of amortization and sinking fund contributions, is $1.04 billion. This figure is 7.4%, or $71.7 million above the amount that we budgeted last year. The recurrent expenditure for 2024 is made up as follows. Current expenditure of $835.4 million, amortization of $188.6 million, sinking fund contributions of $22 million, for your total recurrent expenditure of $1.045 billion.
Minister Gonzalez further told Parliament that current expenditure is expected to increase by 8.3%, amortization will fall by 4.4%, and sinking fund contributions will remain flat. Under the current expenditure, the Finance Minister said the increase for Budget 2024 is attributed to compensation of employees, which will increase by 4%, or EC $15 million, and other transfers, which include social assistance, training grants, and contributions to local, regional, and international organizations, will go up by about EC $9 million, or 6.1%. And this country's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Kiesel Peters, in Parliament today congratulated the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, particularly so Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, for successfully facilitating and hosting last Thursday's dialogue here at the Argyle International Airport between Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro and his Guyanese counterpart Irfan Ali. The dialogue between the two leaders has been hailed a success, with the issuance of the Argyle Joint Declaration, in which both leaders agreed that Guyana and Venezuela, directly or indirectly, will not threaten or use force against one another in any circumstances, including those consequential to any existing controversies between the two states. The discussions were facilitated by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who is the pro tempore president of the Community of Latin America and the Caribbean States, CELAC, and Dominica's Prime Minister Rsvg as chair of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. Minister Peters told Parliament that the success of the meeting is a testimony of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' commitment to regional integration, to peace, to security for all, and for Prime Minister Gonsalves' steadfast leadership in such an engagement and his wisdom in recognizing the necessity to such an engagement given what has happened over the last 3 years, regionally and globally, bringing some economies to their knees.
Our Honorable Prime Minister, recognizing the need for this dialogue, brought the two parties together and co-hosted along with the Honorable Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica to facilitate this dialogue. Because as our Prime Minister said, if people are speaking and if they're talking, they are less likely to head into open conflict. Madam Speaker, I am a firm believer that everything happens at the appointed time. In fact, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, 1-6 speaks about there being a time for everything under the heavens. And as I sat in the meeting with a front row seat to witness what was unfolding before my very eyes, I started reflecting on our journey, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' journey to become the pro tempore president of CELAC. Madam Speaker, there were many naysayers in the local context who are very critical about the significance of CELAC, about the relevance of CELAC, and with a transactional frame of mind and mentality, the most obvious question was asked, well, what are we going to gain from CELAC? What benefits are we going to derive? Well, I could tell you one of the main benefits is steadfast leadership. And in our quest to lead CELAC, Madam Speaker, all of the presidents and prime ministers reiterated the confidence they reposed in our honorable prime minister to lead this organization, especially at a time like this.
The Foreign Affairs Foreign Trade Minister said with the outcome of the Argyle meeting, over 600 million people who are citizens of CELAC member countries can rest a little better with their minds at ease that the zone of Latin America and the Caribbean remains a zone of peace.
Madam Speaker, to learn about regional relations and international relations in university is one thing, but to be present in the moment and to witness the manner in which our Prime Minister was able to guide the discussions with clarity and with wisdom, that is a whole different type of experience that you cannot get in school. And I am very grateful that as a young minister, I am able to learn from the likes of our esteemed Prime Minister. And I've said repeatedly in this honorable house, Madam Speaker, that leaders must lead. And on Thursday, the world saw that St. Vincent and the Grenadines was leading the charge to ensure that our region remains a zone of peace. Madam Speaker, I also want to commend and congratulate Prime Minister Skerrit in his capacity as chair of CARICOM, because as a Caribbean community, we were concerned, and his ability to marshal the facts and co-host the meeting with our Prime Minister contributed to a successful outcome. I also want to commend all the CARICOM leaders who were present and who contributed constructively to the dialogue that took place. I want to congratulate the Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, the management of the Argyle International Airport, and all the other line ministries who did their part to ensure that the dialogue between Guyana and Venezuela was a success.
The operation of the Richmond Quarry project in the North Leeward area is ongoing, with the company responsible for the project anticipating aggregates from the site by March 2024. This is according to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Transport and Works, Montgomery Daniel, who was responding to a question in Parliament today from Opposition Leader Dr. Godwin Friday about the status of the quarry operated by Renew Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited at Richmond in North Leeward. Minister Daniel told Parliament that it was in April 2021, Reno Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited leased 58 acres of land at Richmond, North Leeward from the government of SVG for 30 years to operate a stone quarry for the harvesting of stones and the production of aggregates to supply to the local and regional construction needs. He said substantive work on the project commenced in January 2022 with the clearing and removal of the overburden to expose the usable rocks to the quarry, and since then boulders have been stockpiled and the overburden materials used to create the brooms to prevent runoff from the quarry entering the nearby Richmond River have been excavated.
The company has also assisted even Braxo with equipment and materials to backfill certain of its maintenance projects in that area. At present, Reno is importing and setting up equipment and machinery needed for the quarry operation, including a crushing plant. The company Reno now anticipates that the quarry would be in active production of aggregates by March 2024.
And Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who is responsible for national security, told Parliament today that there is no one cause of crimes, but causes of crimes, and that one has to look at the choices which individuals make. He said an economistic approach to the causation of crimes is not supported by any serious research, and said he will never say that the primary motive of young men who are committed homicides in SVG is to take care of high-maintenance women, as he has been misquoted by opposition MP Fitzgerald Bramble, who asked him that given what he had said to explain the record number of homicides committed last year, 2022, and this year, 2023.
I made the point at a symposium in Trinidad that there are some persons who have moved to crime. Among other things, there's an impulse to that, and there is a factual basis for it in our country. Madam Speaker, the facts are that some young men, not all of them, but some of them do things and get involved because of particular women. But I'm not saying it is primary. I'm not saying it's the only. I'm putting the discussion in a realistic way. Madam Speaker, there are several cases which have come to the police. There is, for instance, and I can give several anecdotes. There's a young man who is in jail who had 3 women living with him, and he had decided that he is going on a path of crime, and at particular times in the month. I'm sure the honourable member for East Kingston may know about this story. That he would decide, and the woman, subsequent to when he was arrested, gave the police statements to say where he will go and steal and rob and even injure people. Not going to murder, because that's a matter which has to be determined. And, Madam Speaker, to pay the bills and to buy things for themselves, and they themselves give testimony about this. I've been in the practice of the law when that was the case. I was involved in several cases with these matters.
PM Gonsalves told Parliament that there are 42 cases which were listed as murders by the police in 2022, and for 2023 thus far there are 49 cases which have been listed by the police as cases for investigation for murder, and that in 2022 11 persons were arrested and charged, 19 arrested on suspicion but not charged. However, all of the cases are under investigation.
I was informed by the police commissioner that there are several of them where they are near to arrests, both for outstanding ones from 22 and 23. For the year 23, 13 were arrested and charged, 18 were arrested on suspicion but not charged. Sometimes Madam Speaker, the police may have a knowledge that a particular person is guilty, but may not have credible, admissible evidence to bring a charge, because you need to have credible evidence which is admissible. For 2023, forensic reports are pending in 7 of these matters, in addition to 6 for ballistic reports.
The Prime Minister was also asked whether the country is equipped to effectively address the current crime situation or whether external assistance may be needed.
Every country in the world need to have cooperation on matters criminal. And that's why we are in the RSS. That's why we are in IMPACTS, the CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security. That's why we are with Interpol, and so on and so forth. But St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with the support of other agencies, including intelligence agencies, as Assistant Commissioner Bailey pointed out recently, are at a place to handle what comes to the police. But clearly, you cannot avoid your family responsibility in taking care of a child, for instance, up to the age of 14, and then when he becomes quote-unquote uncontrollable, he says, that's my problem now, that's Ralph's problem. Well, it's all of our challenge. And we must address these matters intelligently, without any kind of political grandstanding.
The 9 remaining officers from course number 08 of the Rsvg police force are celebrating their 33rd year of service today. The officers were enlisted on December 19, 1990 with a batch of 46. The officers celebrating are Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Trevor Bailey, Assistant Superintendents of Police Oswin Richards and Parnell Brown, Inspectors of Police Atlan Brown, Grafton Samuel and Dwayne McKenzie, Station Sergeant Cuthbert Wilson and Sergeants Scott John and Roll Pope. These officers are currently serving in various departments, stations and units within the Rsvg police force. Extending congratulations to the officers, Acting Commissioner of Police Enville Williams said 33 years of service to any organization is a selfless sacrifice, especially one as the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. He also commended the officers for their relentless sacrifice and dedication to duty and country. The Salvation Army today distributed 1,500 Christmas food packages to some of the less fortunate across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The initiative is done yearly by the Salvation Army through funds raised through its Kittle Appeal. Addressing the Christmas package distribution ceremony today was Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Susan Duggan, who reminded the recipients that the first Christmas Day gift came from God, which is his son Jesus. Her Excellency also told those at the ceremony that they should also remember the reason why they are celebrating the season.
I hope our hearts are filled with love and goodwill, that we are able to forgive our enemies, to have tolerance with those who oppose and annoy us, to give our hearts to our friends, to be charitable to those in need, to your children and the community to be good examples, to be good leaders, and to yourself, respect.
The Governor General further encouraged the recipients of the food packages to be kind and caring throughout the season, noting that she hopes 2024 will be of contentment to them.
I am also hoping that the Christmas season will be one that you will enjoy. This morning, the leaders of the Salvation Army are spreading good cheer, caring and loving you for who you are. I salute them for doing this because I know that it takes a lot of time and effort. And I hope that you also will appreciate their good deeds, not only at Christmas, but throughout the year. I also hope that 2024 be filled with contentment for you.
Some of the recipients of the food packages expressed gratitude to the Salvation Army.
All you for what all is doing every year, and may God bless you and help all you next coming year. I wish you all the best. Good. Good, because my husband is home, can't work, and they're helping him. So I thank all you very much for what all you appreciating for us.
Thanks to the Salvation Army for giving us the sample, and may all of us enjoy our Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas to you also.
Thank you all very, very much for what you all give me. And we live to get many, many more. And may God always guide you all and have a good Christmas and a happy New Year.
Be happy and everything, and thank God for everything for life. And Merry Christmas. No disrespect.
I'm fine and I'm glad and thank God for life and hopes and praise God for Salvation Army to help me out situation for this Christmas. And I love Mr. Oh Lord, I can't remember the name, but the two of them, the two full members of the Salvation Army, and God bless them and keep them. And God bless you too, and enjoy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Very, very good. I'm very thankful.
So how would it help you?
Helping the food, because they don't have money to buy. So I'm thankful. I get something.
Good. Yeah. Wonderful in the name. I always bless them. I used to work with the oldest sister for the Salvation Army, Miss Primus.
After all the stress, thank you for the Salvation Army for the little gift. Yeah, everything. Yeah, thank you very much.
Is this your first time?
Yeah, my first time.
And winner of the 2021 Best Lit Private House, Jimmy Samuel of Rillen Hill, is back and is entering this year's community lighting competition stronger than ever with more lights. In an interview with SVGTV News, Samuel said last year he did not compete because he had to travel. However, he is hopeful that he will recapture the title of the Best Lit Private Home this year.
Have more lights, more animals. Everything this year. And the majority of thing is new this year. Some of the animals is still what I had from before.
Yeah. So when you say animals, we shape the lights shape of the animals, right?
Oh yes. And then you could see we have live animals too. But I didn't bring them in because all here tie up. As you will find like 3-4 animals inside here.
Okay.
The year before, I won everything. First, second, and third prize, everything.
So
And this year is better. Look up in the back here. I mean, look at the setup in the back. You don't believe that look like a Christmas tree, but it make out a light.
The team Samuel is portraying this year as Good Shepherd. He said that the opening night on Friday was excellent, noting that he had a lot of visitors and distributed gift bags to them.
Friday night and Friday night was a giveaway. You give away all the bag with the candies, pen and all these things. They come here, meet the guys them downstairs, they drinking, you see bottle all over the place. Oh boy. It was nice, man. I'm doing this with a good feeling for the people, man, and the people supporting it. I got a guy work with me from start to finish. The guy you see the shanty. From start to finish, man.
How long it took you for?
About 5 weeks since we're doing it. We started since in November.
And you finished putting up everything?
No, still have some more to put up. Because look at all these, that's what I show you, all those didn't go up yet. The teardrops across down, they didn't go up yet. You just get the basic thing together.
And judging for the Finlay Community Lighting Competitions, which was rescheduled because of the weather condition, will begin this evening in Zone 1. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Zone 4, Thursday, December 21st, Zone 3, Friday, December 22nd, Zone 2, and Saturday, December 23rd, Zone 5. Participants are asked to make the necessary arrangements. The National Christmas and Nine Mornings Committee, which is responsible for the competitions, apologizes for any inconvenience caused. Meanwhile, the Christmas caroling contest, which was also rescheduled from last Saturday, will take place this evening at the Russell's Auditorium. The Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture is hosting the Christmas caroling contest under the theme Spirits Lifted. This evening's event includes entertainment from the symphonic band side and a guest appearance by the Police Youth Club. The competition is set to start at 7:30 p.m. The participating choirs are the Bagger Nine Nights Committee, the Embassy of the Republic of China, Layu Development Committee, the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, Health Voices, the Ministry of Health and the Environment, Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force, and the SVG Community College, Carolites.